Keto Weight Loss Coach Dan Quibble here, and I'm just looking for, there we go. So I guess I don't really need these headphones, so I'm okay. I was just going to put them on. So I'm here right now. If you're watching the replay, please type in replay. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to walk you guys through everything that's kind of included in our Keto Camp program. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dan Quibble, and I've been doing a ketogenic diet for the last 6 years. I've gotten all the way to my goal weight. I've lost 90 pounds, and I've been able to maintain my goal weight now for the last 3 years so far. And I've been actually teaching keto to other people, helping them lose weight for about the same period of time for the last 3 years, ever since I've hit my goal weight. I've been running a program called Keto Camp, and I've helped a lot of people lose a lot of weight eating delicious foods. We pre-calculate the macros. There's 140 different recipes, 140 different meal options with the macros pre-calculated on each and every one. So I'm going to show you guys right now. Should I start with the food, or should I start with some of the client results? I think I'm going to start with some results. So I'm going to show you guys right away that this does work. I'm going to pull that little tab down there, and we're going to start with Whitney. So I found Whitney. All right. So here's Whitney, and Whitney's lost 130 pounds with keto. She was doing pretty good on her own, and then, like what happens to most people, she ended up getting stuck. She plateaued and her weight loss stopped. Very common for that to happen on keto. And a lot of times when we do get stuck and you kind of reach out to the keto community, you go into the free groups and you try to find some advice, you get told things like eat more fat. And that just does not work. If you're eating more fat on your plate and eating more fat calories, you're never going to be able to tap into your own body fat. So she was struggling and kind of had hit that plateau, had stopped her weight loss, it had stalled out, and she found Keto Camp when it was priced at $99, and now it's only $27. Even at $99, it was still a way bigger value than what everyone else is doing. We do 2 live Q&A sessions every week. Carnivore menu, keto menu, protein sparing, modified fast, all this. Hey, Jose and Carrie, I see, or they say carb up. Yeah, have a cheat meal, carb up, and then go back, or do carb loading and stuff. Yeah, and I did all that. The first year or two, I did all that stuff. I lost 15 pounds in a year and a half. A year and a half of walking 5 kilometers a day, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, doing the carb ups, I was doing the carb loading on the weekends, which is basically a cheat meal. And yeah, it did not really work for me. So that's Whitney. I have a lot to show you guys. So I'm gonna pin this. I'm gonna keep this up on the page so that other people can see it. So here's another photo of Whitney. I'm gonna try to keep going through these as quick as I can, because I have a lot to kind of show you guys right now. Another one of Whitney. Again, she's down 130 pounds. She actually pretty close to her goal weight. She went through a move and had gained a little bit of weight, and then she came back into Keto Camp. And it's because of people leaving and coming back. And when people stop with keto, they end up starting to gain weight a bit again. So I feel it's really, really important to make keto a lifestyle. And that's why I now have it at $27 a month as a lifestyle program. So it's less than $1 a day, meant to be able to get people all the way to their goal weight and not just lose like 20 pounds, right? People would come in for 30 days, lose 20 pounds, 25 pounds, and then kind of go back to what they were doing and start gaining weight back. It just doesn't work. If you want to, get all the way to your goal weight, and no matter how far away that is, you need to be consistent, and you need to make this a lifestyle change. It's the only way it works. If you go back to eating fries and pizza and ice cream, it's going to come back on. And Jennifer is a good example of that. Again, she had done decent on her own, and then like everyone else, she stalled and plateaued. And Jennifer has now been at her goal weight following the Keto Camp program for 2 years. She's been at goal weight for 2 years, and she's lost 127 pounds. And I think she only weighs 125 pounds. So she's lost more than she weighs right now. Jennifer's in the Keto Camp program. She's a friend of ours. She's been a moderator in a couple of my groups. She actually helps other people now all the time. She spends a lot of time, even in the Keto Camp program, going over people's food posts. So we have a daily accountability where you have 2 meals a day, and each of those meals you take a picture of and you put it in our daily accountability thread, which shows that you're doing the program. Jennifer would go through and she kind of looks and sees if people are having things that aren't on program. If you're trying to do a carb up, she would call you out on that, like you just mentioned, Carrie. So I'm going to show you guys another photo of Jennifer. It's like huge transformation. I mean, she barely looks like the same person. There's Jennifer again, 127 pounds down. And she's maintained it. That's kind of the biggest part of this, is that she's maintained it for 2 years. Just like I've maintained my 90-pound weight loss for 3 years now. I've never been able to maintain my weight loss for even a day, let alone 3 years. Like literally, in my 20s, I got down to, I've always been obese since 13. I'll show you guys those photos in a second. I was able to get down to 180 something pounds, but literally just hit that. I think it was 187. I still kind of remember. Hit that number, and my clothes still didn't fit. I still had a pretty big waist size, had lost a lot of muscle mass, and got frustrated and gave up. And then I not only gained the weight back, I actually gained more back than I lost. So I was actually heavier than ever after, being able to do that. And it took a lot of effort to do that. Could not maintain it at all. With keto, I've been able to maintain it effortlessly because I love the foods, and I'm going to show you guys some of the foods. So keep going through. This is Tina, and for you guys that are on live, if you guys have any questions about anything I'm talking about right now, feel free to put them in here. So that's Tina. Tina's down, I think, 65 pounds, 68 pounds, somewhere around that. She's also been with me for a long time, has done amazing, has made keto her lifestyle. And this is Angie Poston. So Angie has done amazing as well. She's down 90 pounds. Angie's been at her goal weight for close to 2 years. The people I'm showing you are kind of some of the people that have been with me the longest, a long time, and they were able to get to their goal weight and then keep going, like maintaining, and they still come back into Keto Camp, and now they're helping other people a lot. So they'll come in and help answer questions and help keep people on track. Angie's one of those people, and so was Jennifer. And I'm going to show you guys, this is Angie again. Pretty big difference. Like even in her face, she looks like a different person. And that's, a lot of people say that. And I actually had people telling me all the time, I'm putting up actual clients before and afters, and they're like, that's not the same person. That's, and it's like, well, yeah, I've been working with this person for 14 months or whatever. But that's how dramatic these changes are, though, is that they don't even believe it's the same person a lot of the time. So that's Angie. Next is I'm going to put up Ashley. Ashley's lost 82 pounds. That's Ashley. Sorry, guys. I think Ashley, I'm pretty sure she's at her goal weight or close. Ashley just recently rejoined and was killing it, like really doing well. So I'm pretty sure she's right at her goal weight or very close. And as you can see, she, again, doesn't really look like the same person. It's a dramatic difference when you lose that kind of weight. And, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter how far away somebody is or how much they're struggling or how their hormonal issues are or how old they are, thyroid stuff, all that stuff can be overcome. You just really have to get everything right. So if you're someone that really struggles and you're a slow loser, nothing seems to work, just means you haven't nailed it all down. You're probably not using intermittent fasting plus carnivore, plus actually paying attention to your calories, because yes, they do matter on keto, and keeping your insulin down. You do all these things and you do them correctly. And we've done that with 140 meal options. You really can't fail unless you give up. And if you don't give up, then you're not going to fail at this. You're going to keep succeeding. You're going to keep moving towards your goals. And if you ever do slow down your weight loss or stall it, then we're going to give you something else, like a protein sparing modified fast to do. 1 meal a day. There's always another level. There's always something else you can do to get all the way to your goal weight. And that's what Phyllis did. So Phyllis hit her final goal weight just last month. And it seems like lately I've been having one client hit their goal weight pretty much every week. So week after week after week, somebody else is getting to their goal weight. And it's been awesome because doing this for this long, helping thousands of people lose tens of thousands of pounds, I'm seeing these kind of transformations pretty much on a daily basis. They don't get there in a day. They don't get there in 30 days. It takes a little bit of time, but I'm seeing them all the time, and it's very consistently happening. Lamanda, again, she's down 56 pounds. She kind of looks like the same person. She's recognizable, but dramatic difference. Again, you guys can see. Lamanda's been in the program for quite a while too, and she's done amazing. It's been another person that's, made this a lifestyle change. Next person is Susan. Huge drop. Susan lost 130 pounds. She did a fair bit of that on her own. She only found me, probably at the beginning of this year. And like what happens to everybody else, eventually she got stalled. She got stuck at her weight. And she came into Keto Camp, and we were able to help her kind of keep moving down, keep hitting the goals, keep seeing really good results, even after being keto for a long time. I get that question a lot. It's like, well, Dan, I'm not new to keto. I've been doing this for 2 years. Like, you're not going to be able to help me. Yeah, a lot of my clients are like that. I would say at least half of them have been doing keto or low carb for a long time, but they're just overeating calories or overeating fat, junk food, the keto junk foods, processed foods, so many things that, you got to learn to avoid if you want to get consistent results. So it's a big change from what a lot of people do, or what a lot of people think keto is with bulletproof coffees, fat bombs, stuff like that. We don't do that because it doesn't work. You could get some limited results having those things, but you're probably not going to get all the way to your goal weight, your final goal weight, and be very happy where you are in the end. That's probably not going to happen if you're having a lot of extra fats and processed keto foods. Here's another picture. I can see why people sometimes think that it's not the same person. Susan's a good example, but because she's lost 130 pounds, she looks quite different, but that's her there. And Robin. So Robin was another early member of Keto Camp. She was actually able to lose all that weight, 84 pounds, and she looks like a different person again. Went from a size 24 all the way down to a size 10. And I think she actually went on to get down to a size 6 or 8. So she's even went further and lost a little bit more. But yeah, her testimonial, I just read that earlier today when I was looking for some photos. Amazing testimonial. Like, all the health problems and her diverticulitis and all these different things that were like really affecting her life are all gone. She was able to actually clear up all her digestive issues by finally moving to a more carnivore approach, like a meat-based approach, which we also teach. We have a full carnivore menu with some rubs and some marinades. We're not just meat and water with it. We do allow a bit of condiments and stuff like that. But it's very, very effective. And we give the proper portion sizes for weight loss. Typically in the carnivore community, they tell you to eat 2-3 pounds of meat or so, putting you, like maintenance calories, maybe even eating a little extra. And then people tend to not really lose weight. So getting the portion sizes is important, even on carnivore. It does suppress your appetite, but it's still possible to overeat. Okay, so the next person I'm going to show you guys is me, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to way back. So this was when I was about 8 years old. No, I think I was 6 years old, actually. Really skinny little guy, was not overweight at all, was not obese. And then once puberty hit and I had some stressful times in my life, I started to really turn to carbs to self-medicate. And this happened. So that's me at 13. Had my first gout attack at 13, and I ended up being considered obese. So there I am at 13 years old. And that was kind of the beginning of my struggle trying to lose weight. And here I am in high school. That's me at about 15 years old. And it was just off and on. Like my whole life was a big struggle like this. It never was easy. And here I am, I'm going to say 10 years ago for that photo right there. Still remember it because I had a huge burger like this big, and I had fries, and I had a whole bunch of other food. I think I had dessert, was drinking Cokes at the time. And yeah, I still remember this really, really clearly. There was a big group of people, and everyone else was eating good or healthy, small portions, and I was eating all this junk and pushing food on everybody else. You know, I felt guilty, I think, and I'm like, you know, eat what you want. You only live once, and all this kind of stuff. I still remember doing that, which I don't do anymore. So, but I wish I had known that epic burger that I had while I was sitting at that table, if I had just threw away the bun and had some green vegetables as a side, that would have been a perfect keto meal. That would have been a weight loss meal. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like too in about one more minute. I'm going to show you some of the foods that are in the program. 2 more photos of me. That's about 10 years ago on a beach on the one side with the blue shirt. And the bacon experiment, that's me after I did 30 days of bacon. Yes, I ate nothing but bacon for 30 days straight, 2 pounds of bacon a day, lost 20 pounds, improved my blood pressure, improved my fatty liver. Everything kind of improved very quickly, all my blood work. So that was back in 2015. If you guys haven't ever heard of that or you haven't looked it up, Google that right now. Pause this video and Google the bacon experiment. Very interesting. It got kind of covered all over the place. It went viral back in 2015. So that's that one. Here's one more, and then I'm going to show you guys the foods, and then I'm going to wrap this video up. So that's me again. Now, wow, it's tough to look at this one. I was over 260 pounds is all I know. This was about 8 years ago, probably near my heaviest weight. And I kind of look like I do on the other side. And that was about 2 years ago. Right now, I still have those glasses actually. But yeah, the one where I have the bacon shirt, that was 2 years ago. And the other one was 8 years ago. I think I was about 270. I was over 260. I stopped weighing myself at 260. So onto the food. So what are you eating to lose all this weight, right? You're probably kind of wondering that. You want to see some of the food. So everything I'm about to show you is actual Keto Camp options, actual Keto Camp menu items. We'll start with a very simple one. This is a good way to start your day, and it's just, we call it the bacon and egger. So we do a restaurant style menu. You open up the menu, you choose your options. You're doing 2 meals a day out of 140 different choices. Keto, carnivore, protein sparing, modified, fast options. Bacon and eggs, it's 5 pieces of bacon, 5 eggs. Really, really simple, right? Very basic. You don't have to weigh anything or anything. If it's just that, it's 5 pieces of bacon, 5 eggs, your meal's done. So there's simple stuff like that. And now I mentioned that burger earlier. This is on the program. This is my friend Mike Pope. He is a client. This is his photo. This is his version. It's a bacon wrap stuffed burger, which is on the program, and you can make it how you want. So you could put some mushrooms in there. You could put some red peppers, different things, and that's kind of what it looks like. And that's an actual item for weight loss and keto. Not quite carnivore because it has the mushrooms in there, but that's one thing. Here's another one. So these are the bacon wrap scallops. This is another actual item. And Mike Pope took the picture on this one as well. And I think he did the same. He did our seafood sauce. So we do have a seafood sauce that is very keto, very low carb, very low calorie. So there's no deprivation here, right? You're eating foods like this all the time. Next one, pulled pork. I think everybody knows what pulled pork looks like. But yeah, there's a pulled pork recipe on the menu. Here's a very popular keto one. Sorry guys, but my throat clearing. I had a coffee with cream in it and it's bugging my throat. So this is egg roll in a bowl. You guys have probably maybe heard of this one before. So you basically you have the insides of an egg roll, because the egg roll itself, the wheat part, is where all the carbs are. So this is egg roll in a bowl. Complete meal. There is meat in there, so you do get adequate protein. Every single meal option has a certain amount of calories, roughly, a certain amount of protein, all designed to put you into ketosis, all designed to allow you to tap into your own body fat for fuel. Next one, coconut curry chicken. So the next one's coconut curry chicken, one of our first recipes. I'm going to try to show you these quicker. I'm going to finish these up. I just want to give you guys an idea. Like, you're not eating salads. This isn't rabbit food. You're having stuff like this, bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers. That's something you could take to a party, you could travel with, stay keto. Really, really good meal option right there. Basically comfort food, but it also works really well for weight loss and getting into ketosis and staying there. This here is off our carnivore menu. So this is some shrimp. You can have just shrimp, and we tell you exactly how many ounces of shrimp to have for a meal. And again, this is keeping you in a calorie deficit. It is keeping you very, very low carb and keeping you in ketosis. And when you're in ketosis, your appetite's under control, your hunger's under control, and you have control over your eating. Next one this is probably one of my favorites right here. It's the beanless chili. It has ground beef, it has sausage, it has red peppers, mushrooms. I think there's 11 different ingredients in this one. But it also makes a lot of portions. So it might take you an hour to put this together, go into the slow cooker, and then you have 8 meals. So you have a lot of meals for your whole week. You can freeze a couple portions. I think that's why I like it, is because it makes so many portions and I can freeze some. So I might not want chili for a week, but I can have some in a week or two again. And probably because I'm in Canada and it's pretty cold up here. So chili is awesome. I love having it all winter. Next one, so this is bacon and guacamole, or bacon chips and guacamole. This picture was taken by a friend. What I do, though, is I actually fold the bacon in half. Like, I fold the bacon in half, cook it in the oven, and then it forms bacon chips. And actually, I'll show you guys what that looks like. So here's an example of my oven-cooked bacon. Trying to pull it up. So there. In the middle, those are bacon logs, I call them. You roll the bacon up. You can cook a lot more at once. And that other bacon is folded bacon. Once you fold the bacon and you cook it like that, it becomes very strong, and it's great for the guac or the avocado, right? If you have guacamole, then you can use the bacon as a chip without it breaking. So that's why I do it like that. That's kind of some bacon that I actually made. And I have a video on YouTube of me making that bacon, actually. I made bacon 3 different ways. It's like a 3-minute video. You can go check that out. So on to some client results. Sorry, guys, I already went through all those. Sorry. There's no other ones I haven't shown you guys. So that's about it. As you guys can see, it does work very, very effectively. The price is not $99 anymore. It is $27. And you get access to all the different recipes, all the different meal options. I do 2 live Q&A sessions where I answer all the questions. I do that every Monday, and I do that every Wednesday. A post goes up in the morning and says, ask your questions here. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I come on live and I answer each and every single question live that was asked. And when people come on live, get on the live stream as well, and ask questions, I answer every single one of those questions. Once all the questions are complete, sometimes if we have time, we'll talk about another topic, and I'll just try to educate a little bit about keto. I talk about hormones like insulin. I talk about calories. I talk about gluconeogenesis. I talk about, what sweeteners are okay, like erythritol, liquid stevia. And I know there's different opinions on some of these things, but anything that I talk about, I've tested not only on myself first, always, Then I've tested it on hundreds and now thousands of people. So I'm pretty sure that, you know, these things that I'm talking about and teaching actually do work, because I've been running free challenges as well for a couple of years, and I've had probably, I'm going to say 15, 20,000 people come through my free challenges. Some of them have had 2, 3, 4,000 people. Been amazing. But it's really kind of given me a good solid perspective on, you know, do these sweeteners affect your weight loss results? Are there certain ones that you can use? And yes, there are. There's a lot that you don't want to use, like maltodextrin and dextrose, but there's ones that are, you know, perfectly fine, like erythritol and liquid stevia. I also talk about electrolytes. You know, there's so many different things we go into. Macros, we talk about protein, we talk about fat, we talk about carbs. We talk about food addiction and how you can get in that cycle where your blood sugar goes up and then the insulin follows, crashes down, goes lower than it started. You get low energy. You get hungry all of a sudden. And also, when you eat certain foods like carbohydrates and fats together, especially, you get this big dopamine response. So you get a reward center, your reward center is lighting up and your dopamine increases. It's making you or driving you to do that same thing over and over. It's telling your brain, this is good, this is making us happy, keep doing it. Put you into that addiction cycle. Going something like carnivore, for me, is the only way I got out of that, and kind of gave me control of my eating. Going keto helped a lot, but going completely carnivore at times really got me completely off the sugar, got me completely off the carbs, and made it much, much easier. So hopefully you guys found this kind of helpful. You found it interesting. It's less than $1 a day to actually come in and actually work with us. Very, very supportive community. A lot of the people inside this group have become family, and they're helping you guys. They're helping anybody else that joins up, and it keeps them on track, right? If somebody's lost 120 pounds, like some of my people have, now friends, I would say, they're willing to help other people because it helps them, right? And that's part of why I do what I do now. It helps keep me on track when I'm helping other people, because I'm always learning. And then I'm able to help other people, and I'm staying accountable to those people. So it helps keep me on track. And I think that's what a lot of my past clients that have got to their goal weight, that's why they keep coming back. They're still in Keto Camp all the time, helping other people. And I think it helps them as much as it helps the people that are new and coming in. So it's just been an amazing little community that we built. And that's why I've reduced the price so much from $99 to $27, is for people to make this a lifestyle. And no matter how much weight you have to lose, I honestly believe that you can get all the way to your goal weight. Whether you have, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, 200 pounds, it doesn't really matter. There's always different things you can adjust along the way if you need to. Everybody falls off the wagon at times. I talk about how to get back on track, what to do for the next few days to get back into ketosis, get your appetite under control. We really try to cover every single possible scenario so that you cannot fail. If you do not give up and you actually keep retrying, even if you do mess up, you just retry again, you literally cannot fail. If you don't quit, you can't fail at this. Hope to see you guys on the inside. That's all I have to say right now. Actually, I'm going to pull up a little thing here. So it's www.30dayketocamp.com. You go to the site, you get signed up. It only takes a couple minutes, and then we'll add you inside the group. All the menus are in there, the Keto Camp menu, the carnivore menu, the protein sparing modified fast. All the live streams take place inside this Facebook group. And I hope to see you guys on the inside. And one last time, it's www.30dayketocamp.com. And that's how you get started. I hope to see you inside the group, and looking forward to helping you hit your goals and get all the way to your goal weight.